Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to share with you guys different strategies with different outcomes using different amount of capital. Now the purpose of the video is to give you guys an idea as to how much money I'm using on certain strategies and how much money you can possibly make doing these kind of strategies. Now all this is basically just my opinion. It really comes down to what strategy you're using and what companies you're doing them on. Some companies out there have capital growth and pay a dividend, and some companies out there are pretty stable and pay a dividend as well. Now, here with Realty Income, this is a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. I love REITs, and just to give you a basic idea as to how much money you would need, let's say to receive $23.40 each and every month as passive income, money while you sleep, you would need roughly right now at the current price a little over $6,000. Now, when you invest for the long term, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're starting off with a small account, then yes, it might take a little bit longer. Now, if you're doing a long-term dividend portfolio, you might want to get into the DRIP program, reinvest those dividends, compound them so your account can grow a little bit much faster. But keep in mind, I'm using a little over $6,000 just to make $23.40 each and every month. Now, on Robinhood, I'm not really building a position just yet. I'm not trying to build a portfolio. I'm simply getting in, getting out, and making these kind of videos for you guys to see. Now, the next one, Main Street Capital. Now, Main Street Capital here, an investment of a little over $3,000 would bring in $20.50 each and every month. Now, I buy into these stocks to make the videos, but sometimes I'm going to be down on them. I don't like selling with a loss, especially on stocks that I'm willing to hold. In the meantime, I'm receiving these dividend payments and I'm okay with holding them. But just to show you guys, I'm using a little over $3,000 to receive $20.50, give or take a few, because I'm compounding the dividends in the meantime, so I'm making just a little bit more each and every month. Now, the next one, NEO. NEO does not pay a dividend. If you guys been watching my NEO videos, you guys know I like selling covered calls, selling put options on it, swing trading, day trading. Now, I like to take my gains on a short-term basis with NEO. However, you're going to find yourself in situations where you buy into a stock and then all of a sudden it drops in price. Now, like I said, I always have a backup plan for situations like this. I like NEO for the longer term, so that's why I'm willing to hold it even if I'm down on it. But if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm really not down that much. It says that I'm down 4,500 and something. But if you're writing covered calls on them, you're basically collecting money for simply holding the stock. Now, on 500 shares, let's say I already have some calls on there, but let's say on 500 shares, remember I bought them at $53.13 and I have 500 shares. On 500 shares, writing a December 31 call, for example, even if I do a little bit more than what I bought them for, let's say even $54, 5 contracts would give me like almost $1,000. Now you can see how I'm making money on these contracts for simply holding a stock that I was willing to hold for the longer term anyway. Now this would be a buy and hold for me. If I'm down on it, I'm okay. I keep writing covered calls, collecting premium. That's my backup. I don't like to sell with a loss. I don't like to use stop losses. I only invest in companies that I'm willing to hold should this ever happen. Now, of course, sometimes you got to take your losses, right? You got to cut your losses. Now, I did the mistake of getting out of Ford a long time ago, and Ford ended up, coming right back up. And if I would have just held, I wouldn't have lost any money. But sometimes, you can use that money to get into a better play. So it comes down to what you want to do at the end of the day, right? I don't like telling people, hey, you got to hold it or nothing like that. These are just my strategies. Now, this one would be more of a buy and hold for me for the longer term. It's an ETF, Vanguard ETF. Now, this one does pay a dividend every quarter, though. Now, so this one's not going to have the same amount of volatility as other stocks, but to me, it's a safer stock. Look at this 5-year chart right here. Now, this is the market crash that happened in March. It dropped all the way to, let's see, somewhere around the 60s, but it recovered pretty fast. You can see that recovered pretty fast. So I'm okay holding these kind of stocks. This one I have 100 shares of. I recently bought in. And I don't know what I'm going to do right now, whether I'm going to really build a portfolio on Robinhood, but I don't really trust Robinhood right now. You know, there's been glitches these past few days, for example. I couldn't log in. If I would have held some options and I wanted to take profits, I wouldn't have been able to take profits because I was not able to log in. This is why I don't trust Robinhood as much. A lot of people have bigger portfolios on Robinhood. I kind of get in, get out, pay myself out. Right now, you know, I have a little bit more than I used to, but I don't plan on putting any more of my money in there. Now that's with BYM here. It's a Vanguard high dividend yield ETF. Now the next one, it's a very cheap stock, but take this into mind. I'm not investing that much money into this one, but I'm doing covered calls. Now, a lot of people might not like trading options on penny stocks, but once in a while, I'll find these that I'm following and then take the profits when I have them, get in and get out. 100 shares, I wrote a covered call, and I got 18 bucks for it. Now, I got 18 bucks for it. It's almost the same on, you know, money that I received on Main Street Capital with a $3,000 investment. I was getting a monthly dividend of 20 bucks. This one, I got 18 bucks for even less than a month covered call. You can, my investment, it's only like a little over $200. So you can see a big difference in different strategies. This one, I invested a little over $200, wrote one covered call contract for less than a month, and I got $18 on it. So you can see a big difference with options versus buying and holding. Now, there is other stocks out there, like Microsoft, for example, is a great example for me of a buy and hold dividend paying stock with capital growth. Now, there's stocks like this out there. It's not the only one. And then there's dividend kings, for example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, for me, it's one of those stocks that you can just put your money in there if you're trying to build a dividend portfolio, let it compound. Coca-Cola is not going to go out of business anytime soon on market drops, right? It's going to be there for, I don't know, it's going to outlive us, basically. It's been around for more than 100 years. And just to give you an example, you know, these are companies that I'm okay being down a lot on if I were to put my money in those. Now, I do like Microsoft. I like Coca-Cola. I like a bunch of companies. But at the same time, I like making the short-term gains. And I'm only doing it on companies that I'm willing to hold if I'm ever down on them. For example, Neo, I started trading when it was around $3 per share. And look at where it is right now. And like I said, you know, there's going to be situations where you find yourself being down. But if you know other strategies like covered calls, you can at least collect some money while you're down on it. But I wanted to give you guys these examples to show you guys that with different capital, different strategies, you can still make money even if you're down on your portfolio. And I would always say use a different amount of your money, different capital, to do different strategies to grow that account much faster. I'll tell you a big difference that a lot of long-term investors don't use that I think they should be using to grow the account much faster, especially if all they're doing is buying and holding. Selling put options. Selling put options, to me, it's the same thing that the buy and hold dividend investor is doing, simply buying stock, right? But in this case, you would have to buy, of course, 100 shares at a time. Sometimes you don't even get assigned to buy them. But it's a great way, a great entry, you know, to buy into that stock that you're looking to buy anyway. And this is another play I like to do once in a while, buying call options. Now, when you buy call options, the most that you can lose is the money that you paid for the contract. Now, in this case, I ended up buying one weekly call option that expires in 2 days, strike price $50 on Neo. And for that contract, I paid $46. Now, when it comes down to buying call options, I don't invest as much money compared to when I sell call options. The risk is just a little bit different for me. And let's say a lot of people that like to buy call options in bigger amounts, $500, $1,000 worth of call options or even more, this is how fast you can lose your money if the trade goes against you. Now, when you buy call options, time is one of your best friends, but a lot of people also like to trade weekly and monthly call options. But you can see that if the trade goes against you, you can see right now, for example, I lost more than half of what my investment was. Now, it's not a lot of money, but just to give you the idea behind it. Now, I like to sell options for the most part. I invest a lot more money because the risk is different for me. A lot of people like to buy call options or buy put options. I like to sell them. So this is basically what I've been doing on the Robinhood portfolio. Once in a while, you are going to find yourself, where you're just losing money on a single strategy, but, try other strategies. Maybe you'll find the one that you like, a consistent strategy, because at the end of the day, we're trying to grow the account, right? Not gamble it away. And this is all for today, guys. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them down below. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next video.